morning. We have a full house here. I just got to show y'all. I want y'all to see.
Oh, yeah, really.
All of my beautiful women and men at my table. There's my daughter. I'm telling y'all, this is one blessed woman. I am blessed. I'm blessed. I'm blessed. Missy, good morning, from Louisiana is on with us. One of my favorites, all-time favorites in the whole world, but certainly my favorite from Louisiana, her and her sister. Hi Dale, good morning. We're on December the 20th. It's Christmas. Can you tell I'm excited? We're having our party today. Parties today here at the office. We've got our ugly sweater, Christmas sweater contest going on this morning. We're going to do the Myers-Briggs Type Indicator team building exercise this morning at 10 o'clock. Discussing how God made us and why He made us the way He did, and how it's okay to be me, first of all, and then how that fits in with your tribe of people, and how you fit in with your tribe of people, and how it fits into your purpose, that it's all about the way God created you. And then this evening we're going to have a family Christmas party for the staff, and those seated around our table, where they get to bring their family in and we break bread together and we celebrate the birth of Jesus. That's what Christmas is all about, isn't it, Carrie? And then I get to read some of my favorite scriptures in the whole world today. Psalms 139 has transformed my life in so many ways. I highly recommend that you not just read Psalms 139, but you meditate. And you be still. Read it one word at a time. And meditate. And let God speak to you about Psalms 139. But in the meantime, just like my God, on a morning where I didn't have as much time as I normally take, I don't have all my presents wrapped for today. I have extra people in the home. So I actually listened to my scriptures first instead of reading them. And then when I went back and I read them, He gave me my 2019 guidance scriptures. Yes. Yes, and I saw that Sarah got hers. Powerful. Powerful. So He'll give you scriptures for 2019 if you ask Him. He has a purpose and a plan for 2019 for each one of us. Don't skip over summarizing 2018. Ask Him to take you back through the last 12 months and write down a summary of 2018. And then that's what we build on for 2019. So, anyway, so I'm excited. And then on top of it, He starts right off in Haggai, chapters 1 and 2. And I think He has a question for all of us, And again, I'm asking you to listen and to read this spiritually. It is indeed a physical, historical account that's written down on paper. You know, they've attempted to invalidate our Bible hundreds of thousands of times, and they can't do it. There's too much fact, too much real live witnessing of the events that's written down in here. They're not able to discredit the Bible. They continue to try, but what I love about it is the more they try to discredit it, the more they prove it. They find the scrolls. They find more historical documents of eyewitness accounts. And so, but today, I want this to be a spiritual thing for you. And it was a spiritual thing for me. And again, you know, the whole purpose, the whole reason I do Bible study with my staff, I want to start the day off right here at God's Business. And I want to encourage my staff to always, first of all, be listening for themselves, not to be dependent on another person to hear from God. He'll speak directly to you. He is speaking directly to you. Right now, he's speaking to you. He's no respecter of persons. He leaves nobody out. He's speaking to you. So to pray, because that's how you open the door to hear. He's a gentleman and he doesn't force his way in. So you pray, and that opens the door. Then you listen, and we follow it up with our readings, because he confirms it in his word. And when you do that, and when you're faithful to do that, when you do that when you don't feel like doing that, when you do that when you don't really have the faith to believe it's going to make a difference, when you do that when you're desperate and you have no other answers, when you do that when you're happy and you feel like reading, when you do that faithfully, then your intimacy with your Creator will grow exponentially. I'm going to close this. I can see the glare myself. So. Okay, so today we're going to listen spiritually. It's in Haggai, chapter 1, verse 3. Then the Lord sent this message through the prophet Haggai. Why are you living in luxurious houses while my house lies in ruins? And we have personality types that'll take that very, very, very physical, very, very about the house you're living in. But I say it has far more to do. It has far more to do with your spiritual house. The one time I didn't bring something to the table with me. Than it does anything physical for us. Why are you living in luxurious houses while my house lies in ruins? This is what the Lord of Heaven's army says. Look at what's happening to you. You have planted much, but you've harvested little. You eat, but are not satisfied. You drink, but are still thirsty. You put on clothes, but cannot keep warm. Your wages disappear as though you were putting them in pockets filled with holes. This is what the Lord of Heaven's army says. Look at what's happening to you. Now go up to the hills, bring down timber, and rebuild my house. Rebuild my house. Then I will take pleasure in it and be honored, says the Lord. I really don't want to do a lot of commentary with this because it'll be a very specific message. Thank you, darling. It'll be a very specific message for you today, December the 20th, 2018, about where you're at in your life today. And then I wrote just 2018 in my column over here, chapter 6. For this is what the Lord of Heaven's army says. In just a little while, I will again shake the heavens and the earth, the oceans and the dry land. I will shake all the nations and the treasures of all the nations and all of, verse 7. I will shake all the nations and the treasures of all the nations will be brought to this temple. I will fill this place with glory, the Lord of Heaven's armies. The silver is mine, and the gold is mine, says the Lord of Heaven's armies. The future glory of this temple will be greater than its past glory, says the Lord of Heaven's armies. And in this place I will bring peace. I, the Lord of Heaven's armies, have spoken. I'll let that sink in. You know, I've done this for 16 years. I found journals to back up my timing on that. Right back to some of the early journals where I wrote things down the first year I started reading through this Bible. And all of a sudden in 2018, the book of Haggai holds a brand new meaning for me. And God spoke to me specifically and said to me, why, Elizabeth, are you living in luxurious houses while My house lies in ruins. This is what the Lord of Heaven's army says. Look at what's happening to you, Elizabeth. You've planted much but harvested little. You eat but are not satisfied. You drink but are still thirsty. You put on clothes but cannot keep warm. Your wages disappear as though you were putting in pockets filled with holes. Elizabeth, this is what the Lord of Heaven's army says to you. Look at what's happening to you. Now go up to the hills. Bring down timber and rebuild my house. Then I will take pleasure in it and be honored, says the Lord. And then he says in Elizabeth, in just a little while, I will again shake the heavens and the earth, the oceans and the dry land. I will shake all the nations, and the treasures of all the nations will be brought to this temple he just told me to build. I will fill this place with glory, says the Lord of Heaven's army. The silver is mine. The gold is mine, says the Lord of Heaven's armies. The future glory of this temple will be greater than its past glory. Whatever you've accomplished, however he's blessed you, however he's touched you, doesn't compare to the glory that's to come. Praise God. And in my 2018 guiding scriptures that speaks very specifically to Elizabeth, right where I'm at today, December the 20th. And what caught my eye is in verse 10, on December the 18th, I had to check my calendar. I had to look. What's today? What's today? It's December the 20th. He still used that date. You know how many times there's actual specific dates in the Bible? Not very many. And it's probably this translation. Is it in the translation you use, Kim? December 18th? On today's reading, December the 18th?
Not that I've seen.
Verse 10. I figured it was this translation. Yeah, I figured it was this translation. But he used this translation to get my attention. And I had to look. What is this? What is the date today? It's December the 20th, extremely close to December the 18th. And I know 2 times in the Bible that God made the sun stand still. Truth, that's truth. Wow. So, okay, he does it again in, he says it again about December the 18th. He mentions December the 18th twice. I didn't mark the second one. But so, verse 18. Think about this 18th. Oh, right there it is. Think about this 18th day of December, Elizabeth, the day when the foundation of the Lord's temple was laid. He did that work in me today. He laid the new foundation for the timber I've got to go up into the hills and bring down. And he laid the foundation. Think about this day of December, the day when the foundation of the Lord's temple was laid. Think carefully, Elizabeth. I am giving you a promise now while the seed is still in the barn. You have not yet harvested your grain, and your grapevines, fig trees, pomegranates, and olive trees have not yet produced their crop. But from this day onward, I will bless you. Thank you, Father. And then again in verse 20, on that same day, December the 18th. I'm not going to go on into that. Just the dates popped out at me today. Thank you, Lord, for my guiding scriptures. And then, again, the number 7 in Revelation popped out. I don't want to spend time there. I want to get to Psalms 139, and I absolutely want to read it to you. I know you can read. I know many of you that's on with me today has already read. This is one of the most powerful scriptures, books of the Bible as far as I'm concerned. When I'm wanting to know my Father, when I want to know His heart, I want to know Him. I want an intimacy with Him. Psalms 139 has done as much for me as anything I've read in this whole book about drawing me closer to Him. Because I was that broken little girl that bad things happened to. Life happened. and I didn't feel lovable. I didn't believe God could love me in my mess. And he gave me Psalms 139. O Lord, you have examined my heart and know everything about me. You know when I sit down or stand up. You know my thoughts even when I'm far away. You see me when I travel and when I rest at home. You know everything I do. You know what I'm going to say even before I say it, Lord. You go before me and follow me. You place your hand of blessing on my head. Such knowledge is too wonderful for me, too great for me to understand. I can never escape from your spirit. I can never get away from your presence. If I go up to heaven, you are there. If I go down to the grave, you are there. If I ride the wings of the morning, if I dwell by the farthest oceans, even there your hand will guide me, and your strength will support me. I could ask the darkness to hide me, and the light around me to become night. But even in darkness, I cannot hide from you. To you, the night shines as bright as day. Darkness and light are the same to you. You made all the delicate inner parts of my body and knit me together in my mother's womb. Thank you for making me so wonderfully complex. Your workmanship is marvelous. How well I know it. You watched me as I was being formed in utter seclusion, and I was woven together in the dark of the womb. You saw me before I was born. Every day of my life was recorded in your book. Every moment was laid out before a single day had passed. How precious are your thoughts about me, O God. How precious are your thoughts about me, O God. They cannot be numbered. I can't even count them. They outnumber the grains of sand. And when I wake up, you're still with me. Oh God, if only you would destroy the wicked. Get out of my life, you murderers. They blaspheme you. Your enemies misuse your name. Oh Lord, shouldn't I hate those who hate you? Shouldn't I despise those who oppose you? Yes, I hate them with total hatred, for your enemies are my enemies. Search me, O Lord, and know my heart. Test me and know my anxious thoughts. Point out anything in me that offends you, and lead me along the path of everlasting life. Proverbs 30:15 and 16. The leech has two suckers that cry out, more, more. There are three things that are never satisfied. Now, do you understand that we started out reading in the book of Haggai this morning about being satisfied? And then we went through the Psalms, and now here we are in the Proverbs, and he's wrapping it all up. There's three things that are never satisfied. No four that says never enough. There's four things that says never enough. The grave, the barren womb, the thirsty desert, and the blazing fire. Every one of those terms is spiritual and is referring to the inner depths of you, of me. Meditate on it. Ask God to reveal the mysteries to you. He does that through the Holy Spirit. So I love you guys. What a wonderful, wonderful Christmas season it is. Our house is full, this sanctuary that God has given us. What a wonderful, wonderful gift. And it's full. And the joy of the Lord is here today. And I pray that the joy of the Lord fills your home this Christmas season as we celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ. Love you guys.